Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. We wish to continue the message of Adirondack. But before that, I'm going to do something I have been doing now for over a week. The town we speak from is Santa Fe, New Mexico. Not too far, another major city, Albuquerque. And you would say, well, you're in modern civilization, but still, the ancients who walked this land are well known, and their places and their tribes are still here. And dear ones, one of the most active portions of that scenario are their ancestors. And so despite the thought of a major city or a current culture, the ancestors who are ancient are here in the room. More than just honoring, it is something I wish to do as a greeting. I greet those ancestors and I ask them permission to continue with something that they know, that they will smile at. In a minute, I'll give you their message to you. Dear ones, there's an old saying from an old energy that says you're born alone and you die alone. Now, physically, you know that's not true. Because when you're born, there are those around you helping. Often, when you take your last breath, there are those around you. But it's a metaphor of a consciousness paradigm that says you're on your own. You come in by yourself and you leave by yourself. And the intimation of that, the message of that, if you hear that, is that during that lifetime from birth to death, you're still alone. And that you got to do everything yourself. And I would like to tell you, dear one, that that particular phrase is something you can mount on the wall and frame and label it past. Well, that used to be the way of it, and that is the way you were taught. And all through that life, therefore, if you wanted to get ahead, if you wanted to do anything, you had to have help. This was also captured by almost every spiritual system on the planet, who said, well, yes, they're actually born dirty, and if you want to then do something of your life, and if you want to die and not be alone, we got help for you. All you have to do is this, this, and this, and this. It's an old paradigm, dear ones, that is past history. Let me give you the new phrase. You're born magnificent, and you die magnificent. Because this new energy of this new earth that you are just beginning to see starts to give you insight and intuition that says you are indeed in a paradigm you've never experienced before. That your soul, as many times as it's been here on this planet, it's never seen this. And in that, dear ones, your soul is aware, expectant, and knows what to do with it. Where does your help come from? And we have told you for 30 years, inside. For inside of every single human being is a piece of creation. And that piece of creation is not just a fact of the dirt of the earth. It has a personality, if you wish. It has love, if you wish. It has help. I want to give you a metaphor that I hope you don't forget. It has to do with duality and consciousness and light-dark energy. I want you to see consciousness as an energy. It is. It's been proven. But in this particular case, in this metaphor, I want you to see it as a small cloud around you. Let's make that cloud about 26 feet wide. And wherever you walk, that cloud is around you. It's not anything that can be seen, but in this particular metaphor, let's see it. The cloud is in black and white. It isn't really, but no perception you have on this planet can see interdimensional color. So you see it in black and white. And for eons, that cloud has been a dirty gray. And that is the cloud that has been carried in consciousness through all of humanity. Every single human, no matter where they are. And every so often there will be a human who has a cloud which is much clearer, perhaps a cloud which is even white. And that particular human will be an outcast. Eventually, no matter how shamanic, no matter how many miracles, and the human will almost always be eliminated. A little too much to comprehend, a little too different perhaps, didn't fit in with all the other gray clouds. But here's what I want to tell you that you didn't expect. That higher self of you, that soul part of you, which is inside of you, it's a multidimensional source inside you, and it comes with something you didn't really expect. It comes with what I'll loosely call an entourage. Now let's linearize the entourage just for this example, because this is what I want you to see. Around each of you, outside of the cloud, is that entourage, which I'm going to linearize, and I'm going to call it a group of angels. Now that's for you, because humanity believes in angels. Now to you, angels and almost every single belief system that exists are helpers with the Creator. Beautiful helpers. Beyond saints even, pure and light. They appear when you need them, and they are powerful. And that is your idea of angels, and so that is what we are going to put there. Now, I'll tell you in advance, that's the children's version. They're much more powerful than that. And they don't look like humans with skin and wings, mostly female. They don't look that way at all. But they're around every single human being for life. They come in with you. They're born with you. You're not alone. They live with you every single second of the day. And they die with you. In your last breath, you and they get together. And you go across the veil. And then you remember. And you have that party and you have that reunion we've told you about. You really are made of many parts, dear ones. You think you're not. You think you're singular, but you're not. So I want you to think of this for a moment. That cloud around you. What color is your cloud? Well, interestingly enough, in this new energy, so many old souls are starting to have a different, more enlightened consciousness. Now, by enlightened, I mean by this, willing to see more. Not stuck in one paradigm, but aware that things are changing, perhaps even a tingling feeling that you're here in the right place at the right time. And in this metaphor of a cloud of consciousness, that cloud is beginning to clear. And instead of a dark gray or even a light gray, it's a shade of white. And now, because of that shade of white, the entourage, which is angelic, is allowed in. Do you see why? As long as your cloud is of a consciousness of an old, darker paradigm, the angels cannot even get next to it. They can't touch it. That's your choice, your thinking, your consciousness. Everything that is you creates that color of consciousness. But as you start allowing things to happen in your life and you start understanding, you might be different than you thought. Not everything spiritual as it seems. It may be much bigger. It may be things you don't understand, but you're okay with. Because part of an enlightened soul means I don't understand it, but I know it exists. I don't have to figure it out to participate in it. That is an enlightened consciousness at any level. The understanding that there's more, that you don't have to minutiaize it, but you can participate until that time which you understand it. That cloud becomes wider and wider, and in come all of the entourage because it becomes closer to a vibration of that which is your higher self. So that cloud that you've carried in a darker energy for eons in past lives at a certain color is now starting in black and white to become lighter and whiter. And in that entourage that came in with you is now starting to attach itself in you. And how does it look to you, dear ones? I'm going to talk about that tonight. There will be those who see this metaphor, this paradigm that I'm talking about, and you can't get past the linear. And you'd say, well, I haven't seen the cloud and I haven't seen the angels. Cryon's wrong. Instead of understanding, these are metaphors for a consciousness that's dark or light. And that the angels is a metaphor for your magnificence and your help. And, are you ready? For that which is your spiritual intuition. As soon as that consciousness starts to clear, in come that part of you which is sacred and gives you directions. It gives you directions for your life and for your health. All of the things that you've asked for are starting to be there. That's the help from the angels, which are not angels at all. They are magnificent, intuitive energies that you've earned that have stood outside of the dark cloud all your life. Until now. That's how it works. Many humans don't like that. They want a complete and total outside source. They want to give it a name and it comes in and helps them, saves them, takes them someplace. And I'll tell you this, you don't need it. You're already magnificent beyond anything else. And as you start clearing that cloud, dear ones, and it starts to get whiter and whiter, your own magnificence creates your own miracles in your own life. And you're here, some of you, because of it. And that is beautiful. And it's true. And it ought to ring in common sense to you on how God works with the creation that is the human being. That's what's going on in this energy. And Adironda was right. Your soul's never seen it. Not on this planet until now. And the ancestors? What's their message as they've been listening to this? They said it's about time. And they'll smile. And they'll say, someday, you might even realize you can control the weather. And so it is.